Hey there folks, Wrel here. Today we'll be going over some of the most useful certifications for the Light Assault class in PlanetSide 2. This video is going to be a cut and dry sort of buyer's guide, and it assumes you already know what these certification lines and equipment do. The intention here is to give newer players a general idea of how to build out their class from the ground up to become very effective in a very short amount of time, and we do this by prioritizing our cert investments. We're not going to talk about weapon purchases in this video, as unlocking a new weapon through certification points is not really that important. Your starter weapon is good, your shotgun is good, and if you're interested in a new weapon, that's something you'll probably want to investigate in more detail later, and there are plenty of reviews around if that's the case. The Light Assault's role in team play is extremely dependent on the situation and on the circumstance, whereas other classes can provide tangible benefits in each and every fight. You have limited anti-vehicle and anti-max capabilities once C4 is equipped, but beyond those two bricks, you're basically all about dealing with enemy infantry. And it's because of the latter part of that the class is so easy to pick up and play regardless of skill level. Being able to jump on a rooftop immediately gives you the advantage over players who don't expect to be engaged from odd angles. In this chart, I've laid out each rank in each available certification line, and I've placed them into categories of importance. Green means that it's very important or very powerful to have early on. Yellow refers to certifications that are a little bit more flexible in when you pick them up, but usually you'd want to do it after you've established a basic setup. And lastly, red certifications are geared more toward completion of the class opposed to being a necessity, or they're just certification lines that don't really give you a great return on investment as far as cert gain or performance in combat goes. Keep in mind though that green doesn't mean that you need to buy it, especially in the case of multiple suit slots. You shouldn't immediately just max them all out or anything silly like that, because you're probably only going to use a couple of them early on. So take what best fits your playstyle. It's also worth pointing out that by default, you're given rank 1 jump jets, rank 1 drifter jump jets, rank 1 ammo belt, and a rank 1 grenade bandolier. Since those are auto-granted, they're not incorporated into this chart. Do remember that all of this is my personal opinion, and there are many ways to build out your Light Assault because there's many ways to play your Light Assault. But this should give you a decent guideline for what you want to do with your certification points regardless of where you are in the class's development. So that's the chart, and if you want to pause the video here, do feel free, but I've also included a link directly to the chart in the video description along with 2 additional versions that cater to different forms of colorblindness. From here, I would like to lay out an example path for you, a sort of timeline or a wish list for your first 1600-ish certification points invested into the Light Assault class. And again, this is an example of a straight class progression. Most people do not play and invest in just a single class alone, and a couple of unlocks will overlap between classes, like your carbine's reflex sights and like your medical kits. So, the Light Assault is kind of a funny class in that its main focus is just to kill things, and because of that, we're going to be emphasizing survivability and weapon efficiency right from the start. I'd personally equip your grenade bandolier in your first loadout slot with your carbine. That way you can potentially pull more frag kills, which will help you advance the class more quickly. We will be emphasizing advanced shield capacitor for this build though, and we'll be talking about that later on down the line. One of the most noticeable jumps in combat effectiveness for many players comes from just acquiring your first reflex sight. I personally prefer the 1x reflex sight, but you can also pick up the 2x reflex if you think that that'll suit your engagement range more. Unless you buy a fancier colored variant, you're looking at just 5 certifications for your first reflex sight on the default weapon, so this is kind of where you want to start. Your next purchase should be probably one of your next rank in jump jets. Now your default jump jets do not have a lot of hang time, and they recharge pretty slowly. In many cases, you won't even be able to reach the top of a wall from the ground, and because of that, investing early on into another rank of your jump jet is a pretty good plan. And then we're going to jump into our first 3 ranks of advanced shield capacitor. This is heavily preference based, but I feel like the Light Assault is one of the best classes to take advantage of an advanced shield capacitor due to how easy it is to find cover and avoid confrontation. Unfortunately, you won't really start to notice the benefits of an advanced shield capacitor until you've moved to at least rank 3, but maxing it out is preferred, and that'll be the goal later on. Next, we're going to fill out our utility slot with a medical kit, and normally I go for medical kits earlier than this, but again, the Light Assault class has a lot of mobility, a lot of opportunities for cover, and because of that, it's a lot easier to keep your damage taken in the shield range, which is where your advanced shield capacitor is going to help you regenerate. but at least one rank of a medical kit will help not only the light assault class, but every class you play, as medical kits and restoration kits are universal unlocks, and unlocking it just once will unlock it for all the classes. Next, we're going to be going back into our jump jets, and I sat on a rank 3 jump jet for a long time because progressing beyond this point is very useful, but it's not necessary in the majority of fights. Ranks 3 and 4 are kind of a sweet spot in terms of certification spend and the practicality of the certification line. From here we're going to shift gears a bit and bump up our combat effectiveness again, and if you're using a default carbine, you should decide on picking up either a forward grip or a laser sight. In my opinion, forward grips are going to be more beneficial to you early on while you're still trying to learn the recoil pattern, and it will directly contribute to getting more shots on target. Next, we're going to be finishing out our advanced shield capacitor. A max rank ASC is extremely powerful in the right hands, and it starts to be less about something that just kind of runs in the background when you're trying to stay alive, and more about how quickly you can get back into the fight and continue killing. After that, we're grabbing our second medical kit, and again this helps across all your classes. You can think of your first medical kit as being there for when you screw up and you take damage, and the second is sort of an insurance policy that will help you get back into cover or back over to a friendly medic or infantry terminal. Eventually, you'll want to max out your medical kits, but that's not something that you need to rush for. What is necessary is your ability to kill vehicles and max units, as light assaults are some of the best classes suited for the task. Because of that, you want to grab your 2 bricks of C4, and this is really where your long road starts as far as certification grinding goes. I remember having just 1 brick of C4 for the longest time because I'd keep getting sidetracked by other little less expensive purchases, but if you have any intention of playing light assault extensively, you do want both bricks of C4 unlocked. Having 1 is just a fun toy, but 2 is where the real kill potential starts. After this, you probably want to go back and finish off your standard jump jets, start experimenting with drifter jump jets a little later on, and then try out flashbangs and smoke grenades with a max rank grenade bandolier. But all of that is personal preference. It comes down to where you'd like to specialize your light assault and what will best fit your playstyle. If this video has been interesting, helpful, or entertaining, please feel free to like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and if you have any recommendations you can offer to new light assaults, or if you find this guide useful in some capacity, then please let me know in the comments section down below. Thanks very much folks, Wrel signing off.